Hey guys, welcome to another Ride in Struggle Bus, where every wheel is an empty triangle. Today we bring you another Riding with Friends, and today we're playing against this guy. That's CheshireBee. He's a bee.
Yeah.
For those of you unfamiliar with CheshireBee, he doesn't do much on YouTube, but he does do a good amount of streaming on Twitch and puts on a very entertaining stream. So I reached out to him recently and asked if he wanted to do this game, and he happily obliged. So hopefully we can give him a good game, and maybe we can get a flower co in there. No, nothing. Okay, guys, fine. Either way, hopefully we can bring you a good game, and it'll be enjoyable. So let's get into the game.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for a nice ride with this bee.
This is my game against Mr. Struggly.
And so we are black, and we're going to do my standard opening here that I've been playing a lot recently, if he will let me. I've been doing the mini Chinese for a bit now as black, but we'll see how he ends up doing it. Okay, so we will set it up, and we'll see if he plays a 4-4, and if not, we will do something different. He didn't, and so he's got dual facing 3-4s. I'm just going to approach high. And he is going to do a high pincer. And I'm a big fan of that. I also play high pincers fairly frequently. I'm going to mix things up a little bit though. I'm just going to ignore this for now, and I'm going to go approach his other corner low this time. And this is still a fine place stone. It'll be tough for him to really go after it. Unsurprising that he also pincered this one, right, because it helps make a base there. And so we're just going to press down on his stone here. The goal here is just to keep him flat. He has the option of pushing and cutting, so we'll see if he takes that or if he's going to extend up, in which case we will also extend up.
So because I have this H4 stone here, I'm thinking that I could get something pretty nice here.
Looks like he is going to push and cut. That does not surprise me. He is normally a pretty dynamic player, so I'm sure he's going to cut here.
How comfortable is Monsieur Struglibus with Joseki?
And so now we have to look at how we want to handle this. This is the weaker of the two stones. And so if we don't do anything about this, he's automatically going to be able to ladder it. And if we extend, he's probably going to come out this way, and then we get this awkward fight. We can also descend here and keep him Liberty Light here, at which point he will most likely Hane, and then we can Hane as well, and then jump out and make shape. I think that is probably what we want to do. This will also ensure that if these two stones end up being sacrificed, that we'll get a larger outside. We can also look at playing this way to threaten to ladder this stone, but then when he extends to 05, I'm not quite sure what we would do with that. So for now, we're just going to extend here to try to keep him a little light on liberties.
Oh my lord. I don't know what to do here. Wow. This is very scary for the both of us, huh? I expected the windmill, but Monsieur Struglibus is going hard, which I can definitely respect that.
Okay, so he descends down. So if we take the Hane here, and then he bamboos, I think we'll be in an okay position. If we Hane and he Hanes and we connect, that maybe isn't the greatest position. But actually that'll be fine because then we'll be able to descend. So we're just going to take this Hane. Getting a little complicated. Unfortunately, I don't know the variations very well when there's the push and cut, and so I just have to read all of the moves, which always makes it tougher. That's one of the helpful things when we learn Joseki is when you know the variations, you don't have to use as much energy to read out what is happening. Unfortunately for me in this situation, without knowing these variations. I have to deeply look at all the moves, which is just an excuse for I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
How comfortable is Monsieur Struglibus with Joseki?
Okay, so now we have a decision to make. Do we want to try to save these stones, or do we just want to sacrifice them and take a large side? Or not take a large side, but get some good influence on that side. The other option we can do is we can continue the fight by jumping out here, which also feels like a natural move. And so I might consider that. He'll probably need to come out, at which point we could jump or do something to threaten this stone. This does feel like a pretty natural move. My concern is what happens when he extends here. We can come out, and then we just get this really awkward chasing fight, or running fight rather, where we're both kind of just running. And so I'm not sure which way I want to go with it. This is the chickening out way. All right, I know what the result's going to be here, and he will get a lot of points in this corner, and all we're going to get is some extension here. Versus this is a big unknown. But you want to know what? Let's play the big unknown. Let's not back away from the fight, and let's play this. This is something that kind of a stylistic change that I've made recently. In the past, I would have absolutely just cut my losses and gone for what's easier for me to envision on the board. But you lose a lot that way as well. In this case, if this works, this is a stronger move. And so, you should, it's not necessarily you should be playing moves like this, because if this doesn't work, then I'm in a lot of trouble. But I at least wanted to not default to the chickening out move. So let's see how it goes.
If he Ataris this way, then it's like his group is much weaker than mine. And he's got 2 weak groups. So, I feel like this is very, very good for me. Oh no, he chose the move that I'm very happy with.
Okay, so he is strengthening this way. So now I wonder if we can net this. We cannot. So here I think we want to just move out and threaten to get this stone. We could Atari it and then force him out and jump, or we can go this way and jump. And I'm trying to figure out if the Atari is the better move here. And I feel like it is. It'll reduce his liberty. It gives us good shape, and so that's what we're going to do. Normally you don't want to Atari cutting stones, but I think in this case we will be okay. We do need to make sure that we don't get surrounded here, though, and so we do have to move off of this group, and so we will jump here so that we do not get surrounded, and then this group is going to run. Hopefully we get something out of this as his group runs. Maybe we'll be able to develop the right side, but then he's also going to be developing the bottom. So we're gonna get an exchange here, right? Both black and white will get something out of this, and that's how you should be looking at exchanges in general. You need to understand that your opponent is allowed to get things as well, so it's not just always looking at what can we get. You have to understand that there's going to be a balance in a trade between what each player gets.
And I don't know. I think he's gonna find himself in a bit of trouble.
So okay, so now we've got this cut, and I think I just want to extend first. He's gonna fix his cut though. If we take this right now, he's got this Atari, and then he can Atari up, and it gets a little awkward. I think I'd rather just get strength here, and so I'm going to move out. I expect he's going to play the tiger's mouth here. That's a very natural looking move, and so now we have to consider: do we want to strengthen this side or strengthen this side? And I think we want to get some kind of profit. And so I'm going to block him from going this way, and then we'll just continue the chase this way. As this happens, he's going to be able to develop the bottom again. With both groups running, it makes sense that we're each going to get a little bit here.
I'm not trying to kill, even though it looks like I'm trying to kill. Yes, that's not my goal here. Okay, that might have to be my goal here, Gabe. Oh my goodness, that might have to be my goal.
This is a little, it's a little nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. So let's see. So if we attach, attaching seems like the thing to do here. And if I attach, he's just going to extend. But then we can play this. Yeah, if we attach, he's going to extend, and then we can extend. And when he hanes, it gets a little complicated. But attaching here feels natural, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I expect that he's going to push. He did not, and he took the hane. So here I think we're just going to hane and try to get out. Okay, so that's interesting because we've got this Atari into this Atari, and I think that's what we're gonna end up taking here. We're going to Atari on this side. He can't let us capture, and we'll Atari here, and he can't let us capture that. And now we can play this move. He can't go here because it'll be a self Atari.
Is this fight gonna be good or bad for him? I don't know.
Okay, so he jumped out. I suspect we should probably be jumping out as well. If he pushes, we can connect. If he Ataris, we can Atari, and then Atari here. So I think this is the proper move. This stone will help us a little bit. So here, okay, he played that pretty quick. And so he's connected up, and so we can look at a bamboo joint to make sure that we are connected, but I still think we are connected. So the question is, do we want to extend here to strengthen this and continue our running fight? And I think that's what I want to do. If he hanes, we can extend and we're fine. If he breaks our bamboo, though, bamboo breaker is a move you need to always be mindful of, and so that's if he gets M10, because then if we come out, he gets to cut us, and if we connect, then he can get us here. And so I am just going to make the bamboo joint to make sure that we don't get surrounded. And unsurprisingly, he plays this hane. This is what I was expecting. If we hane, he gets the Atari, and then the Atari down. That doesn't look too terrible. He can also Atari here and then push, which also doesn't look too bad for us. I think this is a little too passive. So I think I'm going to take this hane, because if he wants to play around with this, it's also going to leave a cut behind for him. And so he just hanes on the outside. And so we can connect, and he will fix his cut as well. And so I think that's what we're going to do. And he does, unsurprisingly, fix his shape. We can play this here to threaten to get those two stones. I don't know what that really does for us, though. I think this group is safe enough for now. We can consider playing this shape point to try to go after this. His group isn't alive yet, so it might be worth continuing keeping the pressure on. And so I'm going to play here just to take this natural shape point and see if we can keep the pressure on his group. Okay, so he attaches. When they attach, you typically want to hane or extend. If we hane and he cuts, I think we're in fine shape. So I like this hane. I'm going to play it. And so he extends. So let's play a mutual shape point that we're both interested in. This is also a good extension off of this corner.
Wow, Gabe is really trying to attack this group. Now, it's nice that he's attacking this group while making territory. But I don't know if it's the right place because his group is also not not the safest. And usually when this happens, when you attack someone and you're not making money, it's it gets a little sad. Or like if you get attacked in reverse, you might have a few problems.
So while this fight continues, we can also try to secure our corner. So now he's going to leave behind a cut here, but we can't take it quite yet because of our own cut. So we're just going to extend here. But he will be mindful of this cut. My guess is he's going to do the same shape that he did right here and play this tiger's mouth. And look at that. That's exactly what he did. You know, a lot of these shapes are pretty predictable. So let's continue on our way of pressuring this group while also trying to secure a pretty large corner. This corner is not secured yet. These 3 stones do not fully secure this corner.
You might be thinking, wow, look at all my points. These are not his points.
So now he's flying out to get ahead of this group, and so we need to make sure that we don't get surrounded. We can take a move like this, and I think this is actually what I'm going to play. I've been looking at this move for a bit, and so let's just play it. It threatens to kill these 2 stones, which would get this group fully alive, which means we don't have to worry about it being chased around anymore. And so this is a ladder, right? So eventually we'll be able to play a ladder breaker over here, which will be nice. But we don't have the time for that right now. Right now we're just going to play a shape move, get out ahead. Again, make sure we're not surrounded. And this also acts as a ladder breaker for this stone, which is why he is attaching to it right now. Gotta be a little careful. Now that he's getting strength here, this stone's in a pretty awkward spot. But we do have this cut here now. And we need to protect our cuts. So I think I'm going to play right here because this threatens a double Atari. And fixes this cut because if he goes to cut, we'll be able to ladder him into our stones. And so after this, I think we're gonna have to do something with this stone because it's a little precariously placed now that he's got some good outside strength here. And so I think we're just going to jump out. Okay, and so he just protects his cut. That's nice. So we have a move like this later. I don't think now is the time to play it. I do think it's time for us to fly out though, and so that is what I'm going to do. You'll notice we have this corner that nobody's approached quite yet. It just hasn't been big enough. Okay, so he's taking the Hane. I don't think the double Hane works for us, so I am just going to extend. And now that's an interesting move. I'm not sure why he's playing that. That seems pretty small to me. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm sure our friends will show us what we are missing with that. But yeah, if he captures, we can connect here. I don't think he needed this. Yeah, it's a little surprising. So I'm just gonna go take our last corner.
Even though it's like feels very small to Atari stuff like this, it gets so many points in the end game that I'm still struggling with how small it looks versus how big it actually is.
Okay, so he's going to continue pressuring our group here. We could consider attaching, and I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah, let's attach here. See if we can get a base. And yeah, because if we play here, we threaten to get a base. This strengthens us up a little bit. We can also run out. So we've got 2 directions to run here. So he is going to block that. Going to take this Hane. It's pretty big because if he allows us to get that Atari, then we are automatically alive, and that is not something he wants. So we're going to just jump out a little slower now, because we don't want to give him too many cuts. This cut right here, the space between these two stones is already pretty big, but we've got F4. We can get F4 in Sente, and so that will hopefully make it so that we can stay connected if he does try to split these two stones. Okay, so it's just a simple peep. We will connect. So if we take the knight's move and he cuts, I think we'll be in okay shape. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the knight's move. He has a cut here that could eventually get turned on, so this pressures that a little bit more. And if he tries to cut through, as he plays here and we get this Atari, we'll be able to go take this cut. So I suspect that he will fix that before trying anything here. Okay, so he's approaching our corner. That seems reasonable. Now might be the time to take this. I also might just take the turn here. So I'm going to take this turn, because if we do want to use the H8 peep, we need to make sure it actually means something. So we need to surround him first. And this will give us a little more strength. Okay, so he is attaching to our 3/4 stone. Very common reduction. We are just going to extend here to try to secure our corner, and we'll see if he tries to develop the top. And so this is a pretty. I like this approach to get this group a little safer. I am going to play this. It's a smaller move. This isn't a very large move, but it helps secure the corner, and it threatens to undercut anything here. Again, I don't want this group to live too easily. We're not going to kill this group. Like that's not in the question. But we want to make sure that it is not too easy for him to get a lot from that group.
Unfortunately, this feels very slack. I feel like black should have pincered or like just done something to the stone, because black's just given me a lot of money here. And I'm like, thanks. Wow, I kind of wanted that. You know, the recession has been hitting me tough, and I'm grateful for all this money up here. Wow.
Okay. So he's extending off of this stone a little bit. It's a little, it's a short jump. I think this is more of an extension off of these two stones, if anything else. Do we need to do anything here? I don't think we need to do anything right now. I think we can look at playing F4, see if we can get G3. I imagine he's not going to let us get it. He did not. We can also capture this stone. The issue is, does that do anything here? I think maybe it's time to play this. So let's play this little peep, and he captures there. We will connect, which also Atari's him here. I find that exchange bizarre. I feel like he almost has to bamboo now, because I feel like this is a pretty big capture. I wonder if it isn't, but it looks big. Now if he Ataris, we've got a cow, and it's kind of a flower cow. And I said we were going to try to get a flower cow, right? We wanted to give our bee friend a flower cow, but he didn't want it. He didn't want to give me the flower cow. He wanted the flower cow. By the way, we're gonna go eat these stones. I think it seems big enough. Maybe it isn't. So let's see if we capture here. Yeah, I think we're in okay shape. I don't think we end up losing these stones. Yeah, I think this is fine. So we can, I think we just need to connect here. If he pushes, we go here. Yeah, I think we are okay with connecting here. I think we are okay with connecting here as well. Yeah, so let's just connect here. I think they are similar. They both leave a little bit of a weakness behind. Okay, so now he threatens to get these 3 stones or the monkey jump. But this threatens to get these 3 stones. So I think connecting is reasonable, and then we'll see if he chooses to reduce us here. He does choose to reduce us. Do we just want to block? This looks like a really interesting move. But it'd be pretty bad if we ended up losing our corner because of it. Yeah. I'm having trouble reading that one out. I think we are just going to give this to him, and we're going to connect here. And we will connect here, which threatens to get those 2 stones, so I assume he will either extend or he will turn. I suspect he will extend here. He did not. He did not. Oh, he doesn't lose those 2 stones. That's right. If we play this, he just connects. Counting is hard. Okay, so I think we're fine here. So the question is this group strong enough? It is. It's alive. So is that group strong enough to be able to play a move like J17? Can we endure if he plays a diagonal on it? And I'm not so sure about that. So let's play J16 instead. Let's play the 4th limestone. This still threatens to rob him of a base here. Okay. So we can take this Hane, and if he cuts, we Atari, he descends, and I don't know what we get out of that. If we just push, he's going to extend. That isn't too exciting. So maybe we just do our normal variation here. Yeah, let's do that. Get some more strength in the center. Though we really don't need strength in the center at this point in time. This is a normal reduction shape, but we didn't really actually even need to reduce this, especially with the D18 being unblocked. We can monkey jump at any point in time if we're looking to reduce this. Okay, so that's interesting. I think I'm going to play here and see what he does, because this is going to leave some annoying Ataris, some annoying cuts that we can potentially do things with. We'll connect here. He's going to connect here, or play that. That's a nice little move as well. And so we can look at this Hane, because then we can Atari and connect. I'm not sure I like that. This might be bigger. I don't like the idea of giving him a means to reduce our liberties there. So we're just going to play this passive little move. Make sure our corner is healthy. So he does block. Do we wanna play this? I think we do. I think he will block this. It's late enough in the game. And we can connect, and he will connect, or he will protect somehow. And he does. So we're pretty much in endgame at this point. So we can look at T3. T3 is a fairly large move. So let's go and take that. Okay, so he does eventually play this. This reduces our liberties pretty severely, which is why I didn't want to make that exchange earlier in the game. I think I'm just going to jump to connect. Okay. So we do have to be a little careful here. This, I don't know if this works well. I think it does. I think we're okay with this because we can Atari and get out and connect up. Once he plays here, obviously we're going to have to make sure we don't die here. So we will fully protect our corner. So we get reduced a little bit, but that's okay. We can still come back and get S2. S2 is a very big move now. Look at that. He played S2. It's like he also knew that was a large move. It's funny how that works. Okay, so we can look at connecting here. We can look at capturing this. We can look at something like E2. E2 is fairly large, so we'll play this. And we can also look at capturing these 3 stones. That's pretty big too. And he does go to block to block that. And that is fine. We've got this reverse sensei move here. I will probably take that because it's large in its own right. But is it larger than, say, this monkey jump? That I'm not so sure about. So let's go take the monkey jump. Rutrose. I'm not liking that move. I mean, this is the only response we can do. We can't do this. Or can we do this? Let's read this one a little bit. What happens if we play here and he extends and we play this? I think we're in okay shape. Yeah, let's play this, I think. This is a weird looking move, but if he comes in, then we just cut him off. So let's play here. Okay, so he does go to protect the monkey jump, and if we go here, he cuts us off. So let's just connect back, and then he changes course and comes back here. I think we just want to play our shape point. I think this is actually fine. It's ugly shape, but I think this is a fine move. Okay. And I think we want to play this. And are we okay if he plays here? I think so. So we will connect. I do kind of want to play this move now. But capturing these 6 stones is also fairly large. But it's Gote. Maybe we can take this Hane. Let's take this Hane. Because that will get us an eye here. Even if he throws in. If he throws in, maybe it's not an eye. Maybe it's not an eye if he throws in. So let's go grab this. Okay. And if we come out now, he throws in. So let's think coming out is fine. And so we will come out. He does throw in. We will oblige with the capture. I'm still not sure how this corner is right now. Okay, so he is doing that. We can look at trying to connect up here. So let's do this. And he does block. And now what do we do? If he plays here, it doesn't look that good for us. So we're gonna play here right now, because yeah, when he gets this Atari, we'll have to connect, and then he would go and capture. So we're gonna need this anyway. So we'll just play it now. Take any question of if that corner is alive or not. Okay, so he's looking to cut. We will play here. So we can Atari. We can play here. Let's play this and see what he does. Yeah. So we can Atari and capture. Well, Atari he captures, but I think just doing this is fine. He has to protect this cut. And that's one way to do it. But actually we can just Atari this and capture. Now we are connected. And so we will connect up. We will play here. Okay. I think we're just going to make sure we are nice and connected. And so now we are fully in endgame at this point in time. So I think at this point, since we're pretty much just in endgame, I will see you guys at the end of the game. Well, guys, the bee got us.
Yeah.
But you want to know what? This was a pretty good game, and I think I played well enough, so I'm pretty pleased with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game. We aren't going to be doing a review of this one since, you know, obviously games of this caliber usually take a little more than me just flying through and finding things. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed our third Riding with Friends. I hope you enjoyed the bee. He is a very fun guy, and hopefully we'll get to play with him again. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out for another ride in the
Juglibus.
where every wheel is an empty triangle. Have a good one, guys.